This is Rock Tomato or something?
Yeah, Music Tomato.
Music Tomato.
ニューヨーク州の州都アルバニーで、今日は、メタリカのコンサートがあります。ドラマーのラーズに来てもらいました。こんにちは、How do
Okay, hello.
you are going back to Japan? How do you feel?
Great. It's I think it's been too long. I think it's been about 2.5 years now, and I know that usually people say this about every place that they go, but up till we went to Japan up in '86, that was definitely the best tour that we'd ever been on, ever, anywhere. And we really just look forward to coming back.
It's great.
Yeah.
Why did you try to make a music video this time?
I think it was basically because that, first of all, because we'd never done one,
Right.
and it almost became a bit of a challenge to try and see if we could do one our way, on our terms. And then secondly, when we found out about the movie that was done about the book, Johnny Got His Gun, it sort of seemed like there was a chance to do a video that would be really, really different than what any other rock bands have done in the last few years. And then, you know, Metallica, we always like to do things as different as possible. So it just two and two kind of connected, and we started focusing in on the on the chance to really pull off something very different.
I think the video is so effective to the new fans to, you know, understand what Metallica is.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think it's just, you know, very different from, you know, not anything against, you know, your Whitesnakes or your Motley Crues, but it's just, it's very different. And I think it is very Metallica, and it was something that we set out to do. We had an agreement with the record company, which was that when the video was done, if we weren't happy with it, we'd just throw it away. So that was quite good. So yes, I'm very happy with it, and I think it is very Metallica. As a matter of fact, there's also, we just finished working on a second version of the video, which is, you know, the same, obviously song and video, but without any of the story in it. So now there's two different versions. There's the one that has the full story, the story and all the movie clips and the dialogue, and then we just edited one together just with a band playing, you know, just a song in that environment. So there's actually two different ones available.
What do you try to say to one?
I don't look at it as much as what we're trying to say. It's more really a story. It's an idea that we had actually way back on the Master of Puppets album, where it was like what it would be like to be in a situation where you could not communicate with anyone around you, where you were basically a basket case, just like a living consciousness, kind of, where you had no arms, legs, obviously couldn't see, hear, or speak or anything. But there was an idea we had a long time ago, but we couldn't really get on with it from there on until one day when we were writing stuff for the Justice album. I talked to Cliff Bernstein, our manager, and he suggested that there was a book that was set against that same idea called Johnny Got His Gun. And James went out and got it and read it, and then we set that idea against the sort of World War I background and all that. But initially it only started out just as an idea. It wasn't that we read the book and then wanted to write a song about it. It was an idea that we had, and then the book sort of got us going and put the song in the background of the World War I thing and all that. We're not really, I don't really look at it as much as us trying to say anything specific or anything. It's just, it's a story about what it would be like to be in that kind of awful situation, obviously.
But anyway, in a good video, I think.
Thank you.
Well, how did you feel, you know, performing at the Grammy?
It was a lot of fun. It was it was a little different, obviously, than the usual Metallica audience, but it was. I think it was. You know us. We always like to try new things, and we never actually tried to do anything that, you know, formal or strict or whatever. And it was quite interesting. I was very happy about the performance because we had some sound checks and some rehearsal the day before where everything went wrong. You know, guitars went out and people forgot the new arrangement of the song. It was really bad, and I thought, oh no, this is, you know, tonight on television, live, Metallica is all over, you know. And then we went out and we actually played the best version of the song that I think that we could play under any circumstances. All the guitars were plugged in right, there were no mistakes, and everyone was very on top of it. So I was very happy about that, definitely. I don't think it could have been any better.
Is there any pressure?
I think the only pressure was, or at least speaking for myself, I was I was a little nervous. I was nervous about if everything would work right. You know, we only had 6 minutes from to get everything up, and you're dealing with, you know, a lot of people, what's called union, you know, just stagehands, and it's like, oh, this goes into this socket, and they plug it in very wrong, and I think we were all a little worried about the technical side of it, but as soon as we all realized, I think, that everything was actually working, and, you know, 15, 30 seconds into the song, everything was okay, we really, I think, opened up and really went for it. It was good.
So, you know, so many fans thought, you know, Metallica would be a winner.
Right.
So.
I think, let's be realistic, and I think the real win for us was being on the show and playing. That, I think, is what's gonna last in people's mind. And who won the award, I think, is gonna fade away a lot quicker. You have to remember that most of the people that vote in the Grammy Academy are people that are a lot older than both the fans and the people in the media and the people in the music business. There are people that are like retired, you know, audio engineers and just, you know, slightly older people that are maybe a little less in touch with what goes on at the moment. And you gotta remember that when they look at the list and go, okay, Metallica, they go, who the hell is Metallica? And they go, oh, Jethro Tull. I remember Jethro Tull from, you know, 20 years ago when I was young myself, and I better vote for them. So I think we were told by Cliff Bernstein and Mensch that it would probably end up being either AC/DC or Jethro Tull, simply because of what's called the name recognition, which means, you know, oh, here are 5 names. Oh, I recognize the name Jethro Tull more than anyone else. So we were really kind of prepared for it, even though everyone had been building Metallica up to win it. But like I said, I think the most important thing for us was being on the show, and that's what was the good thing. So
I think, you know, they didn't know about what heavy metal, you know, what's hard rock.
It was quite funny because there was an interview with the president of the Academy the day after, and he said that the only thing he was really embarrassed about was the heavy metal category, and he said that usually it takes the Academy a few years to really even understand what the hell the award is for and so forth. But he actually apologized in the LA Times. It was so funny. He was very embarrassed.
Well, you know, you have a platinum album still. How do you feel?
I feel great. It's obviously I feel great. It's very close to double platinum now. It's just under 2 million. As a matter of fact, in the last 6 weeks, it's really starting to pick up again. You know, the album keeps moving up the charts now, and obviously it's very funny that we have a single in the Hot 100.
Right.
Which is obviously very funny. I think this week it's 46, and it's still climbing up. But the album has really picked up in the last 6 weeks, and I think the double platinum looms in the distance, which is nice.
Yeah, I think everybody to watch the video clip and a strong impress from that.
Yeah.
So single album,
And also obviously we're doing very much touring right now, and the Grammys. So at the moment everything is very just right with Metallica. So.
Everybody knows Metallica, even mom,
Right.
Well, I think your new album, and just for it's a sound like more live sound. How do you feel?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
I think
it's very different, muscle puppets. And
yeah, it's a little less polished. I think we wanted to go for something that was a little harder, a little raw, a little punchier this time around in the mix and in the sound. And also I think that the big difference is that this time around we actually had written all the songs and knew all the songs before we went in the studio, and that way we feel the songs a little more when we play them, as opposed to on Master of Puppets. A lot of the songs were only written a few days before we started recording them, so didn't really know them very well, so they're a little sort of stiff. On the Justice album, I think it's a little more confident, a little more relaxed, because we know the song so well, and I think that makes it sound a little livelier overall.
And also after this album, you joined Monsters of Rock Festival.
Yes.
Do you have any memories of Monsters of Rock?
I have many memories. Yeah, I mean, it was. I think it was a great thing for us to be associated with. I think we were the band of all of them that probably got the most out of it and probably had the most to gain. And I think that it was a lot of fun for us. We were with the Dokken guys every day, and we had the same management with them, so we would travel with Dokken every day and same hotels and everything, and that was a lot of fun. And the shows, we would go on at 4 in the afternoon, when we were barely even awake yet. But it was good, and I think it really sort of set up, all the stuff that happened with the Justice album taking off in September, and the way that we're doing so well with the tour now and everything. You really have to say that the Monsters tour had a lot to do with that, obviously. So very good.
I see. Japanese audience, they're very interested about your new stage set.
Right.
Tell me about.
Well, basically, what we're doing is we want to bring the whole set over to Japan, and unfortunately, I hear in a couple of the smaller venues, I don't know if we can get the whole thing in as usual, but I know at the Tokyo shows we'll definitely be able to put the whole thing on. I don't want to give too much of it away, and I'm sure they've seen some pictures of it already, but it basically obviously evolves around the front cover of the Injustice for All album, and we're just trying to do something that's a little bit, different. It's I think it plays more on stuff like moods and on feels, and the guy who, our lighting guy who runs the whole thing, it plays very much with each song is different in the overall lighting.
Oh, yeah?
And so it's not like the whole, you go out on the first number, everything is just the same for the next 2 hours. It's like the lights are very, very different from every song, and it's just, it sort of gets built up and then it sort of kind of gets unbuilt back down.
Wow.
And it's, I like to look at it that it's a little bit different than what most other metal bands have been doing in the last couple of years. It's a little more moodier, and it plays a lot on the moods of the songs and so forth. And we're trying to bring as much of it. I think at the Tokyo shows we'll be able to have everything, but at some of the Nagoya and Osaka shows, which are very small stages, but we try and bring as much as we can. We'll do our
everybody,
best.
excited about that, It's how was that idea come along?
I think it
built up and.
It just basically came, I think, from both John Broderick, which was our lighting designer. We told him that we really wanted something that was very different than what other metal bands have been doing, and obviously, he connected in on the cover and so forth. I think that we actually do, even though I don't like to. We also have to give a little credit to Peter Mensch, because he's very good with ideas like that. So Peter Mensch definitely too came up with some of the ideas.
というわけですけども、じゃあ最後に日本のファンにメッセージをもらおうと思います。Could you give a message to Japanese audience?
Japanese audience, hello. Well, I think that the best thing to say is just that we're really, really looking forward to coming back there again. Like I said, our tour in November of '86 was the best tour and the most fun that we'd had up to that point in time. And I think 2.5 years to be away from Japan is way too long. And it's great to see, obviously, that the tickets are selling so well that we've added the second Tokyo show, which we're very happy about. And we'll be over for about 2 weeks, so let's have a good time. Thanks.
Okay, thank you very much indeed.
Okay. IDs, yeah.
Pure rock?
Pure rock, tomato. Just, yeah. Okay. Yo, this is Lars from Metallica, and you're watching the Pure Rock show right here. No, it's just Pure Rock, not any TV station or anything?
Just Pure Rock.
Pure Rock, okay. Yo, this is Lars from Metallica, and you're watching the Pure Rock show. We'll go number 3. Yo, this is Lars from Metallica, and you're watching Pure Rock.
Music Tomato World.
Oh, God. Okay. Yo, this is Lars from Metallica, and you're watching Music Tomato World.
Funky Tomato.
Oh, my God. Okay, yo, this is Lars from Metallica, and you're watching The Funky Tomato Show.
And one radio.
Okay.